And what I want to talk about today is agree capability. And most people, when they hear that term, they don't really know quite what that means or what I'm talking about. And it's not simply, and again, all of this ties into what Mr. Mufar is doing, where we are and where we're going. And if you get this, it'll be a comfort. It really will. But agree capability, it's something when you think about it, you think agree. Well, I can come to agreement on a lot of things. It's not a hard thing to do that. We do that every day. But agree capable, it's so much more than that. And I think it's so apropos for what Mr. Mufar is doing and what we're doing today. When I think about that term really deals with a lifelong decision. Okay. It's not your average decision. It's a decision you make that will be with you for your entire lifetime and beyond. It's a really, really big deal. And when you start thinking about a decision like that, a really good example of it is marriage. Agree capable. It is a decision you make for a lifetime. At least that's what it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. And when you start to think about that, whether you're very, very young, middle age, or older, when you start to think about a commitment for a lifetime, it's a really, really big deal. And then when you start to think about that, you start to understand that you need the knowledge necessary to make whatever decision you're making for that amount of time, for a lifetime. So the topic today, philosophy, this is a really, really good philosophy that all of us have used throughout our life, even though we didn't know the term agree capability. We didn't know quite that term. It's an academic term, but it's one of those things that we've done our entire life when we look at long-term decisions that we're making. And these decisions are made in your personal life, in your religious life, in government, in business, which we're doing right now. And when you think about it, you have to think about the education involved in order to make a decision like that, right? Now, Mr. Before came on yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I lose track of time, guys. And he talked about a lot of things that the new company was not going to be. But he also talked about the past, what had gone before us from point A to point B, where we are today. And it's really telling when you start to make a decision, a lifelong decision based on the information you have. And really, that's what we're doing with the business Mr. Farr is putting out there. He's not asking us to come in and make a commitment for a day, a week, a month. He's looking for a lifetime commitment. And what he's doing is unrolling things that will give you the ability to make that decision for yourself. And each one of us will make that decision for ourselves. Agree capability. We have the capability to agree, looking at a long term. Is it right for us? Are we going to come in and participate with Mr. Mufara? And when you think about what Mr. Mufara said the other day, and he talked about the past, he talked about the things that have happened, he talked about the things that have got us from point A to point B. And they're really, really powerful things. And they're telling if you understand what Mr. Mufara is saying. He didn't talk anything about the new phase, the new business, and where we're going. He said nothing about it, absolutely nothing. But you can get a really good understanding of where he's going if you look at the past. And again, when we look at agree capability, you have to have the education, you have to have the understanding, you have to know where you're going. And the only way to know that with where we're at today with Mr. Mufara is to understand what's gone in the past. We know that a lot of the things in the past, he's not pushing them forward. They're not coming into phase two, chapter two, whatever you want to call it. They're not coming into it. But the experience he acquired with the first phase, with the first 6 years, is invaluable. And because, Marty, Dan, and I, we made this decision a very, very long time ago. We looked at Mr. Mufara, we looked at his vision, what he was doing, and we decided amongst ourselves, yeah, this is where we want to be. This is where we'll plant our flag. This is a lifetime commitment. Why do I say that? Well, if you're looking at a lifetime commitment, whether you're young or old, if you go 6 years and it hasn't quite happened yet, that's not that big a deal. 6 years is a very, very small amount of time. If you're looking at a lifetime, if you're looking at a lifetime commitment, and that's what Dan, Marty, and I did. We look at this thing. Baby, this is where we planted our flag. We're not going anywhere. We know Mr. Mufara. We know what he's doing. We know what's happened in the past, which has given us the ability to see what's coming. And because of that, I was in a really, really good mood after I listened to Ash the other day. What he talked about, and I've gotten a lot of input from different people, and different people come up with different things, but they don't understand that this is something that you make a decision and it's long term. And it's so much more than that, because it's not just a physical decision. It is a spiritual, it is a virtuous decision. It is something we decide that will affect our very soul. That's what a Greek capability is. It's not just making the decision, it's understanding what it will do for you independently. And it can be good or bad. This decision process, it can be a bad one, or it can be, depends on who you are. Now, we know Mr. Mufara. He does things the right way. He does the right thing all the time. That is who he is. It's one of the main reasons Marty, Dan, and I came in and made this decision to make it a lifelong decision, because we know his moral base. And believe me, it's like marriage. When you make a lifetime decision with marriage, and I know not every day is good in a marriage, guys. I understand that, even though I've never been married, all my friends have been. It's not always easy. And this is not always easy. But the end result is always absolutely phenomenal, I believe. So as we look at Mr. Mufara, as we look at the decisions we're making right now, as we look at a Greek capability and understanding that it's just not a decision, it is a moral decision. It will affect your spirit. And I believe, because of what Mr. Mufara is doing, yeah, the money is important. All of us would agree with that. And that's coming. I don't worry about that anymore. But if you can make a moral decision based on good information that's going to affect you in ways for a lifetime, in really, really good ways, that's what we're talking about here. Philosophy kind of life when we talk about Greek capability. My phone is going off. If you can hear that, guys, forgive me. But I think Mr. Mufara the other day, he shared with us a lot of really, really good things that should get you excited about what's coming. Don't worry about the time frame, guys. Mr. Mufara, he's going to get this thing out here as quickly as he can. Why? You can't believe the amount of money that he's leaving on the table right now, and the amount of money that will change all of our lives, including his, including the corporate side, including our side. It is massive. And I won't talk about that, just like I won't speculate what the next phase is going to look like. Although I probably have a pretty good idea what it's going to look like. It's going to be good. And Ash tells us that it really is going to be beautiful, guys. So as you start to think about what Mr. Mufara is doing, if you haven't made the decision to come in and make that commitment, think about it in these terms. It's not just an agreement with Mr. Mufara. It really is a moral agreement you make in your life to make your life better, in my mind. If you're coming in to make it worse, don't come in. This really is a place to work on your spiritual being a better person than you might think you are, or maybe you don't think you're that good. You can be. And Mr. Mufara is bringing that forward. Yeah, the money is important. I understand that. Everybody here understands that. But there are things above and beyond that are more important. And you'll understand that when the abundance starts to flow in, and you look around yourself and you go, well, that's nice, but there are more important things out there than just this. So I hope that made sense to everybody. It's something that that I think about when I think about Mr. Mufar and what he's doing. It is making that agreement, that long-term agreement, making it permanent. It's here. I'm going to be here until it happens. And I know Mr. Mufara, he wants it to happen quicker than any of us. And I think that's probably quicker than most of us realize. I really do. So hopefully that helped everybody. If you're stuck a little bit, think about what I've just said. Um, and there's a lot more to be said about all of this stuff.